I absolutely am.
Good.
Has it been more than one class since we've used them?
No, just one class we didn't.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, we'll bring it back on Tuesday there, Miss Maureen. It'll be perfect. All right. But today we're going to focus a little bit more on our balance. And if you've got some sort of weight or soup can, water bottle, whatever it is you want to use, that's just wonderful. My name is Jill. If we've got any new faces today, welcome. Very excited to have you. And happy Thursday, everybody. Your week is almost done. You've made it through another wonderful, beautiful week. Yep. It's starting to get sunny where I am, so I'm getting more and more happy. All right, let's start off with our breathing pattern. We're gonna do something a little bit different today, something I want you to practice at home. Okay, so you're just gonna place a hand on your belly and a hand on your chest, and we have done this before, but not all of you have. And we're gonna just practice the difference between our chest breathing and our belly breathing, okay? And so we're gonna take a breath in. I want you to fill up your belly first, and then fill up your chest, and then breathe out through the chest or the belly first, and then the chest. Okay, try not to pause, try to keep it steady. So breathe in belly, chest, breathe out belly, chest. 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 Once more, breathe in belly, chest, breathe out belly, chest. All right. Now just focus on consistently breathing in and out steadily, breathing out through pursed lips. So you're going to maintain that breathing pattern the whole time as we start to get some movement in. So for today, I'm going to ask you to reach one arm, the other arm across from each other, and then straight forward. So across, straight forward, across, straight forward. And again, if this is one of your first classes, if you've done less than 5 classes in a row with us, that's where your goal is just to do 10 and then have a short rest depending on your breathing. So this is warm up, go at your own pace. We want to start off a little bit slower, and please make sure you are maintaining your breathing pattern. Okay. Now try to alternate which arm is on top as you reach across. That makes this just a little bit more fun. Good, make sure we're still breathing out through pursed lips. We're just starting out. Good. All right. And now what I want is for you to touch across your shoulders. So you're crossing your chest, and then 1, 2, cross, 1, 2, cross, 1, 2, cross, 1, 2, cross. So a little bit of rhythm stuff for warm up today. So good for your coordination. Anytime you put a little bit of rhythm, meaning you could put music to it, it's actually easier for your brain to catch on to the pattern. And I think it's because we do so much of it when we're little kids, right? In preschool and kindergarten and the early stages, they do a lot of rhythm stuff to help kids learn. But there's also a lot of research on the benefits of music for learning, especially with motor movements. All right, we're going to change it up just a little bit. So it's across and then tap with the palms, flip over, tap with the back of your hands, and cross. So it's tap, flip, tap, cross. Tap, flip, tap, cross. Tap, flip, tap, cross. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, we're gonna add a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now you might be thinking, geez, Jill, for a warm-up, this is a lot of upper body work. Don't worry, the legs are going to get their turn next. Oops, I missed my step. It's a lot harder to talk and keep rhythm at the same time. My goodness. I think I understand why you tend to stay quiet. And shake it out. Good. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift one heel. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. So you're just tapping each heel twice. Okay. If you feel, pardon?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. If you feel comfortable, feel free to step. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. So again, you're either lifting your heel or lifting your foot, whatever feels best for you, because we are still warming up. And we're going to add to the challenge. 1, 2, forward. 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 There we go. 1, 2, forward. 1, 2, forward. 1, 2, forward. 1, 2, forward. Good. Remember to maintain your breathing pattern. Good. Make sure we're breathing out through pursed lips. And I think it's time to now add our full body into the movement pattern. Uh-oh. So now, uh-oh is right. So let's reach as we lift our leg. Reach as we lift our leg. Across as we step out. Across as we step out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good work, team. Remember, if you've done only a couple classes in a row, or if it's been a while, make sure you're only doing aim for 10 and then have a rest, catch your breath. Remember, the more limbs that are moving at a time, so now we've involved our whole body, that's more intense than moving just 1 or 2 limbs at a time. Okay. So if it's feeling too breathless or too intense, feel free to simplify the movement. The goal is just to keep moving however you can, comfortably with a bit of a challenge. Good. All right, and changing up the pattern now. Now I'm gonna get you to pull a leg underneath you. So as far as that foot can come back, remember, and start with your feet a little bit ahead of you now, so you can actually bring it back. If you ever get swelling behind the knee, or you've been told you've got a Baker's cyst, just make sure you're not pulling that leg too far back, because that can tend to irritate it if your body is sensitive to that movement. And we're gonna reach up. So it's that back and reach up, back and reach up, back and reach up. Now, if you are choosing to do this standing, do not put your weight on your backwards moving foot. And so what that means is if you're choosing to do this backwards, do not step backwards to where you're off balance. Keep your weight forwards and just touch it back. All right. Not feeling too great today. Hey, there's lots of groaning. You guys feeling okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good. There we go. There, now the sun's shining again. That's so nice. How are my island people? You still having snow?
We're in a rapid melt.
Oh, is it? Are you sure? Or is that just your hope?
No, it's melting really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
But this is
Good.
the mainland, not the island.
I've heard the island has had an unprecedented amount of snow. All right, gang, and
It's melting.
good. I'm glad. That's very good. Okay, so our last rhythmic pattern that we're going to do today for your warm-up is your arm and leg is always going to move in the opposite direction. So if your foot touches forward, your arm goes behind you. Okay. And so actually just do a couple of these. We're going to make it into a bit of a game to get your brain thinking. But if your foot moves forward, your arm moves behind. Foot forward, arm behind. Foot forward, arm behind. Good. There we go. All right. And if your foot moves out to the side, your arm moves away. Or sorry, not away, but yeah, in the opposite direction. So your leg moves out to the side, your arm moves out to the side. So do a couple of those. Just get used to it. Good. Now, if your foot moves back, where does your arm move?
Forward.
Yeah, get it forwards. Your arm is always moving opposite. All right, and if your foot steps in, so you don't, if you want to cross your foot over, you can. If you just want to step it closer, brilliant. Where does your arm move?
Out.
Cross.
So if your leg's moving this way, your arm has to move this way. This is going to be the one that messes us up the most. So just think, arm is always moving opposite the leg. All right, now you guys tell me, because we're going to make this a bit of a game. Would you rather I say the direction that your foot needs to move and you just have to remember that your arm moves in the opposite direction? Or would you like us to assign each movement 1, 2, 3, and 4?
1, 2, 3.
You say take a rest.
No rest. Rest when you need to. Okay, so I kind of got the feeling that group consensus was you'd rather them be numbered. So here it is. If your foot moves forward and your arm moves behind, do it with me. This is 1. All right. Out to the side is 2. Moving back is 3. This is 3, 3, 3, and then 4 is across. 4, 4, 4. All right. Now I'm just going to say the number.
Oh,
Oh, that
good.
should be funny.
And periodically I'm going to change it. And so once again, if you want to just do 2 to 5 steps and then rest, please feel free. You need to do what is best for your body. So starting with 1. 2. How fun is this, guys?
It's
Not
not
very
fun.
confusing.
Yes, very confusing.
Very.
Good. 3.
I think you're used to working with athletes.
I've worked with all types.
Wow.
Remember, Jill,
And-
you're working with the geriatric group.
My favorite group. One of the groups I've had most experience with. 4.
Yes,
Argue
we
as much.
have.
4. Good. 1.
My body doesn't want to do this.
Then don't. If you feel overwhelmed, if this is past the point of challenging and doable, then you can just march. You can just hang out in your recovery position.
No,
Focus on your.
I'll just keep trying.
I can only do it because I'm copying you.
Perfect. Remember, I've said before that sometimes it's not about doing a movement perfectly. The improvement comes from struggling and trying to do a movement. And that's where the brain and body have to get super activated and focused on what you're doing. And it is super hard. And that's okay. That's part of the thing. And even if you don't get it this session, that's okay. That's not what the outcome goal is. So let's try number 3.
Oh.
Perfect. Yeah, it's not about being able to do this correctly or perfectly. It's about struggling to have to remember and do your best and get your body moving in different ways. You guys are doing awesome.
I don't think so.
4.
One where you cross.
Good. Yeah. Some of you are getting it. There we go. Excellent. 1.
This was one. Oh, back there.
There we go. Good. So the memory recall of going, oh yeah, what one was that again? We're building those patterns. 2. Yeah. Here we go. Excellent. Make sure we're still breathing. Breathing out through pursed lips. Maintain that breathing pattern. And 3.
Crossing, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, and I love that most of you are starting, we haven't quite associated each movement with the right number, but you're remembering each of the 4 movements. So that's a really good step, really good improvement. And 4.
No.
Yes. And
There we go. Very good. 1. 2.
oh,
That's it. 3. Good. 4. And rest, shake it up. Well done, team.
Oh,
All right, if you're seated, remember that recovery position is just bent over, either your thighs or using a chair or the table near you, but just keep the chest up. The moment we get here, this is no longer opening your airways. You must get chest up so that back is straight, okay? And so hang out here as long as you need to catch your breath, to actually recover. Make sure you grab a sip of water. And we're gonna shift into a little bit more strength work, and we're gonna add in some balance. Sound good?
Yeah.
that's great.
Sure, just getting back to the previous exercise, is there any reason why some of those are easier to coordinate with your legs and your arms
Yep,
than others are?
absolutely.
Is there something to do with the brain? It must
Yep.
be, I think, because I can follow some easily, but then others, when you make the quick switch, you get all tangled up with your legs and your arms. It takes time to sort them out before you can start, right?
It sure does. And a big reason for that is, how often do you move in a forwards direction in a day?
Most of the day.
Most
All
of the
day, I
yeah.
suppose.
How often are you moving sideways?
Very,
much?
very seldom, yeah,
Backwards?
yeah.
Seldom
Okay.
again.
So,
Yeah.
so some of it has to do with our patterns of movement.
Okay.
When I ask you to march, for most of you, that's a very easy movement to do.
Yes.
It mimics walking.
You're right.
Just one foot is lifting off the ground as your arm moves. That's how we walk, right? The knee might not come up, but this is a very natural pattern for us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
At this point, moving your arm and leg away from each other, that's challenging to switch into quickly, but you do enough of this movement in classes, in exercise classes, that it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Now, how often in a day do you get yourself getting your arm and leg to move away from each other,
oh,
right? And the
Right.
hardest one for most of you, I bet, and I could be wrong, but I bet was this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Crossing, moving your arm and leg across your body towards each other. Your brain's going, what?
Yeah.
I never do this. No, it's very rare that we move either of our limbs across our midline, we call it. So think about a line being drawn from the crown of your head across down your nose. That's your midline. We move away from the midline, right? We step to turn, to grab something, that kind of stuff. But to come across our midline, very unusual position. It's not a natural position. It's one you got to train.
I got you. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic question. And that's why it's important not to feel as frustrated as you might. Just recognize, boy, I don't do this very often in my day-to-day. And that's why it's so hard for the body to do.
okay, got it.
I got you. Thank you.
So, hey, if you are beside your counter in the kitchen, hold on to it with both hands and slowly practice walking side to side. You know, if you've got keeping safe, you know, you're bent forward a little bit, you got your hands on your counter, hold it tight and practice step. Couple steps at a time. You can hold on to one and you can step open. And I've still got that balance support, and then bring it back. And then you can go out the other way. Find yourself in safe ways to practice those movements.
All right. I got you. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, it's very interesting how we get into our habits. And again, I brought this up to you guys before. Everyone cross your arms.
Yeah.
Okay, now uncross them and cross the knee. So I usually put my right arm over top and down. Now switch them.
Oh.
It feels so weird. This is the most unnatural feeling, I think, ever. Your brain doesn't know what to do with this. It's the same movement, just reversed, but it feels 100% different. But if you practice it, then it becomes normal. So I'd encourage you in safe ways, and even just seated, the more you can practice bringing your arm and leg together. Or touching across. That's why I get you guys trying to do so many across the body movements, because it's one that definitely doesn't happen in our day-to-day. But the more you practice it and keep it a skill that you have, the better off you are with your overall movement ability. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's straighten out. If you're staying seated, you're going to straighten out one leg. So my heel is on the ground, leg is straight out in front of me. And we're going to practice getting that thigh muscle. It's called your quad, your quadricep. Want to practice tightening it. Clench it tight, 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 and then relax it. If you can get it to this point where it can just tighten and then relax, tighten and relax, then for yourself, you can advance it to tighten it and lift your foot off the ground and down. I don't want to see this. That's easy. Keep your body upright, clench, lift up just that little bit and down. Now, you're doing this standing. Have one foot in front of the other. Hold on to something. And you're going to go down just to where you feel it in that thigh muscle, and then back up. Down. And back up. Okay. That is your challenge now, strength challenge. Let's aim to do 15 to 20 per leg. And again, first couple classes, if you can only do 5, great. That's your limit today. That's awesome. Rest for a little bit. See if you can do another 5 near the end. Brilliant. Tighten, lift, and down. Remember, the upper body doesn't move at all. Good. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out through the point of exertion. So the exertion here would be either coming up out of that, it's called a split squat, one foot in front of the other, or this leg lift. That's the hardest point. So that's where it's helpful to breathe out. Make sure we're still trying to breathe out through pursed lips. Good. Well done, everybody. I've got about 5 more. And again, this isn't something you should rush. We want that muscle to feel quite fatigued, not sore or painful. And so if you feel like this movement isn't working for you, please let me know so I can change it up for you. But this is a really good exercise for starting to build strength in your legs. especially if you've got sore knees. It's a great way to start so that you can progress to your standing up from your chair. But oftentimes, if that is too sore on a knee, we start with this one. We get it really strong. Okay, let's switch legs.
Sure, a big difference between the right leg and the left leg.
Yeah, we often have a stronger side, that's for sure. That's super, super normal. Well done, everybody. Good, so tighten. Remember, you can breathe out as you lift. Excellent. Good. So remember, rest when you need to. How is that quad feeling? Those thighs getting a little shaky? And this is one of those exercises where it doesn't matter how fit you are. It's all about how strongly you tighten that muscle. So no matter how fit you are, this should be a tiring exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are in control of how tightly you squeeze that muscle. All right, and you can rest there. Good. Shake out the legs. If you're lucky, we'll repeat that one.
But if we're
No, it
not,
depends. If you're not lucky, you'll wish we had. All right, grab whatever you're using as a weight. And if you're not feeling comfortable using any sort of weight today, then just do body weight, right? Using just your limb. But what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna get you have two options depending on how your shoulder feels today. If you've got a sore shoulder, then I just want you to lift it up to bend the elbow to lift the weight up to your shoulder and lift your knee. Your shoulder feels good. You're going to start the weight here and it's up overhead and then down to 3. Now, the position doesn't matter. If you are keeping your palm facing inwards, then what's key is you keep this elbow in, don't let it lift out. Keep it in. If you'd rather open up your arms, your palm faces forward, then you can just press out that way. Okay, it just depends on what feels best for your shoulder. So lifting up, down, 2, 3. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out. Down, 2, 3, up. 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 Down, 2, 3, and up. Down, 2, 3. Switch sides. I should have said this at the beginning before we started that one. But again, you don't have to keep up with the majority of the crew. You do have to take accountability for what you and your body can do today. All right. Switching sides and up, down, 2, 3. 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 Last one, up and down, 2, 3. Brilliant. Rest there. Well done, everybody. How did that feel?
Good.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. All right. So your third exercise, we're going to work on our balance. And we're going to hold on to the weight. So if you're doing this seated, I'd encourage you to hold your leg up in the air. Sit on a pillow, rolled up towel, that'll add to the challenge. And the arm movement will be the same. So if you are standing up, go ahead, stand up. Oh. Make sure you're standing very close to balance support. All right. And your foot placement is you can either be, so standing heel to toe as if you're on a tightrope. That's a small base of support. So that's going to be quite challenging. If standing in this position, you already feel like you can't hold on, you feel like you have to hold on to your balance support, then that means it's too challenging. Get the feet apart. Get the feet as far apart as you need for it to feel challenging to your balance, but doable. You're able to maintain your balance, even if you just stand with your feet together side by side, okay? Now, with that weight, we're moving the weight side to side slowly, and nothing else is moving. So only the weight here is moving.
Should our knees be locked or loose?
Nope, soft knees. Think about your glutes. Those are those muscles in your bum. Something silly yet very helpful that I often tell people is try to crush a walnut between your bum cheeks. And boy, that'll help you get your glutes engaged. Good, and let's switch. Which foot is forward? Just making sure we're maintaining our balance. And side to side. So it's your back foot that does most of the work in your balance in this position. Good, so maintain your breathing pattern, crush that walnut.
No, no.
Good. And rest there. So the second one we're going to do is I want you to either lift up your heel, so most of that weight is through your stance leg. This time the knee can, I wouldn't advise you to lock it, because you want to focus on your hip, your glute, holding the balance, not your knee. Okay, that puts a lot of pressure through the knee, so kind of a soft knee. So either lift the heel or lift the leg as you pull the weight up and down. Now, if you feel like you're doing a drop, try to go a little bit slower. There's no limit to how far you lift the leg up. So even if it's just that tiny bit, great. Even if you need to hold, lift down and then lower the weight so you can maintain control, perfect. See if you can do 5 on one leg and then switch legs. If 5 feels good, try to do 10 on one leg and then switch legs. Good work, everybody. And if you haven't already, switch legs. Excellent job.
Oh. Oh.
Excellent. Keep up your breathing pattern, even if you're resting. And rest. Okay, go ahead and sit back down. And we're gonna reverse all the movements that we did. Instead of starting over from the beginning. So once again, get the weight in your hand. And we're gonna lift the weight in the opposite knee. Okay, so we're going up. And then it's a down, 2, 3. Up, 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 down. Sorry.
10 minutes.
Oh, not us. Down, 2, 3.
I'll see you in a minute. 10. Just talk to you later. Bye.
Down, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Last one, up, down, 2, 3. Good. Switch sides. All right, and then other side. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out as you lift up, down, 2, 3. 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 Up, down, 2, 3, 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 rest. Woohoo! Well done, team. Is that fun? Super fun?
Oh,
Those are your only options.
It's always fun with you.
Oh, thank you.
Good answer.
That's just what my ego needed today. I sure enjoy all of my time spent with you guys as well. This is a wonderful, wonderful group. So we got one last exercise, and it's repeating. I told you if you're lucky, we're going to straighten out one leg. And again, you can do your standing version if that's what you would prefer. Make sure you stay balanced, have support close by. Tighten the leg, lift up and down. That's one. Tighten. And if the lift is too hard, just keep it down and just tighten, right? That's all good. Good. Up and down. Good. Tighten. Up and down. 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 Good. Good. Couple more on this leg. So after we finish off this leg exercise, it will be time to stretch. What's been tight lately? What feels like it needs a stretch?
My neck.
The neck,
My back.
my
the
shoulders.
back.
My body.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, switch legs. And tighten and lift. Good. Okay, so we'll look at tightening all those things.
That's no more.
Good. Tighten that leg muscle, and then you can lift it. Good. Breathing out through pursed lips, team. Brilliant. All right. And we'll do one last one. And you can rest. Woo! Brilliant job. All right, if you're staying seated, the first stretch, we're gonna just do a gentle, just keep your hands on your thighs. You're gently just gonna rock forwards and backwards. That can help loosen off the back. An even better way to do it, if you are comfortable standing, is just to get your hands on the seat of your chair or on the table. I don't like you putting your hands on the back of your chair with weight because that's not very stable. So on this, keeping your knees slightly bent, you're just going to gently rock your hips back and forward. And this is a great way to relieve a bit of tightness in the lower back. So I've given you your 2 options, whatever feels best for you, please do that one. And remember, if you've got any questions, especially about the exercise, please ask. But this is a great time for any and all questions, comments, and jokes.
How do you do that sitting down?
Just put your hands on your thighs and you're just rocking forwards and backwards just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you got any issues with the hands and wrists, so you don't want to put weight on them, this is where a table is helpful, because then you can just brace off your forearms and then it can look kind of the same way without putting weight through your wrist and hands. Okay.
What was that?
But this position takes the most amount of pressure off your lower back. Okay. All right. Now the shoulders and upper back. You're just going to hold a platter. Tuck your elbows in and you're gently pulling the thumbs away from each other. So not this way, it's this rotation happening. Okay, so let the chest pop forward a little bit, rotate out. See my elbows stay close in, they don't drift away. And then come back in. If you want to time this to your breath, you can breathe in as you pull your hands apart and then breathe out as you bring them back. Or because we're trying to hold a bit of a stretch, you can pull apart, then take a breath from here. And then bring your hands back in. Good. Good, and even if we want to just hold here, now let's take 2 breaths. Take it out. Good. Now just lightly grab underneath your chair and really gently tilt your head to the side. Now be cautious if you've got osteoporosis. You want to be very, very gentle with a neck stretch. Keep up your steady breathing. And how's your neck feeling?
Good.
Getting a stretch.
Good. And gently switch. Any questions, guys? No?
Not about this, Jill, but how can I cannot kneel on my right knee. I had a new knee, I had a replacement. And I do most things, but I cannot yet bend. It's sufficient to kneel down. What one exercise could I be doing best to help?
I can't do that either. And I had mine 13 years ago. It just feels weird.
Yeah, you got to work really, really hard to get your range of motion back.
Yeah.
And the sooner you do it, the easier it is. The longer it waits, the harder it is because it stiffens up, but you can still work at it a little bit. Stretch one leg out, guys. You can reach towards your toes. So one thing you can do is laying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat if you're on your bed. Bed's the easiest place to do it. But grab a strap or a towel, have it around your heel, and it's got to be long enough that you can hold on to it.
Yeah.
And honestly, actively pulling your heel in as far as they'll go, and then grabbing on and helping it pull even closer until your body goes, yeah, I don't like this. And then you hang on.
Yeah, we do those, you do those after you have the surgery. And I don't have any problem with the motion, but I can't kneel down because it feels so weird. Like,
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
if it's not a range of motion issue,
Yeah.
some of it is just building up that practice. Have you been doing like sit to stands and that kind of stuff? Yeah, like at the sink.
At the sink? No, well, I did the class with Stacy in the morning.
I'm not aware of who Stacy is, but I'm sure she's wonderful.
Yeah, with Ridge Meadows Hospital, it was a rehab, pulmonary
Okay.
rehab.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, but today was their last day, but there's going to be somebody else that's going to be doing it with us.
Yep. So if you do it at the sink, and I mentioned this, I think last class as well. And guys, again, you can pull up your elbow, stretch this way, or stretch one arm up, one arm down, and hold whatever feels best for you. But again, holding on, you got to hold on to the sink because you're going to able to get down lower than you might be able to in a regular squat. Because in a sit to stand, your knee is only going to 90 degrees.
Right.
But to kneel down, it's got to get
Are you ready?
to 130, right? So if you hold on to the sink so that your arms are in control and can pull you back up, you bend down. This isn't safe for me to do at a table, but I'm going to show you as best I can. You get your hips back, but you get down as low as you can. You hang out there and then you pull yourself back up. You do 10 of those, and then you get one foot in front of the other. And then same thing, you're holding on desperately for dear life to the sink. And I like the sink because you can actually grip onto it, not just a countertop. Get the sink. And you get down low, 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 low. You hold, and then you pull yourself back up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's this movement.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And trust me, I'm going through that right now too with my knee. The surgeon's giving me the clear I have to start going hard at it, or they're going to have to do a joint manipulation. So I have to get myself to tears pulling that leg in. It's not fun. It's not fun. And I'm not recommending that for you necessarily. But I am saying that you do have to go to the point where it's a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, team. Yeah, no worries at all. And it'll build up that strength. It'll start feeling a bit more normal. Yeah. So best of luck. Report back to me on Tuesday.
Okay.
Do like 3 sets of 10 of all 3 of those. Do it on both sides. Every day, and then let me know how it goes on Tuesday or next Thursday.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You too, David.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You report back to me as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great
Jill.
job, everybody. Thank you
bless.
so much
Jill.
for coming on today's class.
Thanks.
Lovely
Thanks,
to
Jill.
see you all.
Is the sun still shining in where you are, Jill?
Yeah.
No, it went from shining sun to a windstorm.
Well, we're in a wicked windstorm and snow in Vernon.
Well, that's what happened
Yeah.
probably about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah,
All the leaves in the yard were just going,
weird.
I had stuff blowing over. Yeah, it was bizarre.
Anyway, have a
But-
good weekend, Jill and Maureen and everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
You
Bye-bye.
too.